everyone. This is Teresa Perkins, editor of Exposure, Spotlight Magazine. And look, I'm so excited to be in the presence of a gentleman who is running for office for the district court judge. It gives me honor and a pleasure to introduce to you none other than Attorney Dele Adebamiji. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderfully well, and I enjoy the way you pronounce my last name. You put a twist on that.
So I didn't do too bad, huh? I did pretty good, huh?
I think you would have made a D if it was a test.
Well, thank you. Look, you're at it again, in which I am just excited to see that you are running for office. And look, can you just share with everyone what has inspired you to run for the district court judge?
Like the good book says, it says a righteous man falls 7 times, and 7 times he rises up. Uh, you know, uh, I might have been around the block a couple of times and didn't make it. But I believe this time the Lord called me to come and run for this seat. This is an open seat. It doesn't have any incumbent. Um, the judge on this seat, Wilson Field, has moved up to Court of Appeal. So we have 4 people running for this seat. But what I'm most concerned about is that um, this is my community. I've lived in this community for over 40 years. So I believe that if anybody knows the pulse of 225, this community, I am the most qualified because I've contributed to this community. I have lived in this community and I have put into this community what no one else out of my colleagues can boast that they've done, what I have done for this community. All those and the fact that, and the Lord say, go ahead and do it. That's the reason why I'm running again.
And I am so excited to hear that you are running again because I have to say, most people, when they don't get the results that they're looking for in the beginning or the first time that they run as a candidate, they're ready to give up. But you know that quitters, what? They never win. So look, and I believe honestly, Attorney Dele, God got your back. And I believe that
Amen.
you are going to be announced as the winner. But as we carry on with this interview, I want to ask you this. So you have had many years of experience as an attorney, correct?
That's correct. I've been practicing for almost 35 years. And
How many years? How many years?
35.
Oh, okay.
Years, yeah. And up to and since then I've practiced at every level. Every level of practice in law that you can think of. I've practiced in the state court. I've practiced in the city court. I've practiced in the in the Louisiana State Supreme Court. I've practiced in the Fifth Circuit, which is a federal court judge, and I've taken a case all the way to the United States Supreme Court.
Oh, so wow.
If experience is the bottom line, I have the experience. If the knowledge of the law is another thing we're looking for, I have that knowledge. My practice has been a mixture of civil cases, but most of my concentration has been on criminal case. But what I'm saying is that if we're talking about experience, no one has more experience than I do in this particular race.
So you are the man for the job.
Well, if you're looking for somebody that can start the job on day one, then you're looking right at me. I'm not trying to boast, but it's just the truth that if you're looking for someone say who's ready on day one, I am ready to take it over.
Awesome. So allow me to ask you this. How do you view the role of a judge and the judiciary in society? How do you view the role of?
Well, I view a judge sometimes as a referee. When you either playing ball, basketball, or soccer, football, you need a referee. And I know sometimes we don't like referees, but their job, is to call penalties, and they're supposed to be fair. They're supposed to be fair when they blow in the whistle. That's the role I think a judge should be. He should be fair. You should be able to hear both sides of cases. It should be fair. If somebody is rich and somebody is poor, you still need to be fair. You can't pervert justice, because if you do that, that will not be right. And also, I think the work of a judge should go beyond the courtroom. The work of a judge shouldn't end in the courtroom. A judge should be able to interact with other people outside, with the community you live in. Because if the community you live in, if it's not in peace, you too won't enjoy it. So it would be good for a judge to go out there, coach some t-ball, or coach some soccer, or coach a basketball. Invest in the life of the youths of your community, because they are the leaders of tomorrow.
Okay. So, what is your approach to dealing with difficult or controversial cases? Do you have a certain approach?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I think when I was growing up, my father used to tell me, say, uh, the best formula for failure is to try to satisfy everybody. You know, so if the Lord put it a case like that in your hand because it's controversial, all you have to do is follow the law.
Right.
If you follow the law and you call a spade, and you do not try to say a spade is not what it is, even if people come after you and start critiquing you or criticizing you, they too will know that you follow the law if they can read it. So if you follow the law as the law says, if the law says deny it, you deny it. If the law says grant it, you grant it. I think that's how you deal with controversial issues. You don't cater to one party because of their political power, or cater to the other one because of their wealth. Just call a spade a spade.
Yeah, I got you. And I'm sure, look, you probably have this question asked maybe a great deal to you, because I'm sure, as an attorney and even becoming a judge, you have some personal beliefs, or maybe perhaps even some conflicts. But how would you handle a situation where your personal beliefs may conflict with established, laws or what have you?
Well, I'm not going to hide it, and I don't even intend to hide it. I'm a Christian, and I'm a servant of the Lord. But even the Bible tells you to obey the laws of the land. If you look in the book of Romans, that's what it says. It says, obey the law of the land. Look at Jesus Christ. When they asked him, is it necessary to pay taxes to Caesar? And he said, give unto Caesar what Caesar, and give unto God what's God's. That's exactly what it's saying. Just because my faith does not like something doesn't mean I have to go against the law of the land. If what the law says do, that's what I will do. That doesn't mean I have to like the sin. But that person, there's no reason I cannot, relate to that person. But whatever it is that doesn't align with my faith, I don't have to glorify that. All I have to do is follow the law of the land in that particular matter. And if it comes to where I don't believe I will be fair enough, I recuse myself from the case.
Right. So, you mainly specialize, or is there a certain, I guess you could say, law that you practice? Is it family, correct? Family.
Well, I do general practice. The only thing I don't do is I stopped doing social security law, and I stopped doing bankruptcy. And when I first started out, I worked for legal aid. So I had no choice. I had to do a lot of divorces, child support, custody, because then I was helping mothers or fathers who cannot afford attorney. So I did a whole lot of that, but I did other practice of law too. I do personal injury cases and I do immigration law and some. But criminal cases is just like about 60% of my
Oh, really?
practice.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what are the, because I don't know, and when it comes to, I'm gonna say crime and, basically criminal or criminals, my thing is that I believe, if the system was different as far as a lot of criminals have gotten away, with certain, crime and should have served time. And I mean, like, even, bringing up this one issue with the policeman who just actually passed away from a gentleman hitting him on the motorcycle.
May his soul rest in peace. Yeah.
Yes, amen. Yes. From my understanding, this gentleman has done this many times. This not like, or for sure, and I say many. Once you did it twice, that's many. So, from my understanding, he did it enough. But that first time, he should have already been in prison, for really a long length of time. Now, that's just my personal opinion and my view of the whole scenario of that, because perhaps if he was in prison, this man would be alive today, But I want to know your intake on that particular issue, as well as what do you see that could have changed to me to where this would not have taken place, being as serving as a judge.
Well, I know that case is in court, so I don't want to prejudge whatever the judge or preempt the judge and whatever or the prosecutor, whichever way they're going to carry, they will carry the case. Whenever somebody lost their life, in a very despicable way, just like this incident, cutting somebody's life short. Even the Bible said, "Thou shalt not kill." And
Right.
from what I understood, right, the police officer was finish his work for that day, go heading home. Everybody once you finish your work, you want to go home. But
Amen.
to have such a tragedy is, I cried for the family because nobody will wish that on their family, not even on your enemy. You won't wish something like that to your enemy. But sometimes too, some of these criminals, we say they let them out on the street.
Mhm.
But for me, I want to see before you leave, if somebody has committed violent crime once or twice for me. I think one time too many. If you commit a violent crime, you need to be locked away. You need to be given a quiet time. Maybe after you've been locked up for quite a while, you will understand that it's better to be in a society and behave. I think violent offenders should be kept away. But all the other petty theft and all those simple theft and all those little things, we should have another way of treating them. For me, I just believe that one glove doesn't fit all. Well, I think people should be punished according to the crime they commit. I don't think we should be walking down the street and be looking over our shoulders because we don't know who's going to rob us next. That was a tragedy incident. I don't know the perpetrator. I don't know what his criminal record is like. But if it was me and the criminal record was bad, uh, from what I'm looking at, I think it's more than what meet the eye in this particular situation. But I won't preempt the judge. I won't preempt the case. So I won't say nothing concerning their exact issue.
So I'm going to ask this question, and I think it's a legit question, but I'm going to ask this. Do you think that judges should be held accountable when they allow criminals such as that, to, and really in a lot of ways, you can say get away because this person been, did these crimes before, and then here it is, they're out again to do it again. I mean, somebody should be held accountable. What's your view on that?
Well, most of these judges, they sometimes they handle some cases depending on what kind of information they have right in front of them. Okay. Some of them, sometimes the decision they take may be, it may hinge on the fact that the information they have was not complete or was half complete. Uh, there is a system of holding judges accountable, but for the work they did, if they did those jobs while they're on duty, immunity will attach. So it's very difficult for me to say, whoever judge was on that case at that particular time or who let him out should be held accountable because I don't have all the facts. I don't have all the information surrounding uh, that issue. But yeah, we do have system whereby judges are held accountable for
Oh, okay.
their wrongdoings.
Awesome. Well, one thing I admire about you, Attorney Dele, you have Christ in your life, and you serve a ministry in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which I think is so awesome, teaching and ministering to others. I believe that when you have Christ in your life, that allows you even more so to be able to serve the people because of the genuineness that you have. And I just want to share with you that I admire that tremendously. But I want to ask this question here is, what do you think or is the most pressing community issues related to the courts and the law enforcement?
Well, thank you for all the beautiful things you said about our ministry and having Christ in me. I just think, if we all have Christ in us, and this world will be a very better place to live in. And I even try to carry Christ into my practice of law. And so far, it served me very well. All those time I used to get mad and want to break the door down. I found out that with Christ, you can break the door down easily, and you can
Mm-hmm.
still go home and sleep well. So he's been doing a good job for me. So I hope one day we will have a society and we'll have an organization among lawyers where we can share Christ with one another. But for me, one of the most pressing issue I see right now is that maybe it's in our African American and Black community. We're not taking enough responsibility for our children. Okay, we're not doing enough. I'm not saying we're not trying at all, but I just believe we're not doing enough. Sometimes I'll be driving down the road like about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I will see young kids. When I say young, I mean like 7, 8, 9, riding bike on the road at night. And I will
Mm-hmm.
be asking myself, where are the parents of these kids? Those kind of things get to me. I'm like, God, the parents of this kid. Because I know my kid is not riding bike at 8 o'clock at night down there like highway or trying to cross a traffic road. Because those are those are bad things ready to happen if they're going around that time of the night. I mean, they're just too young for that. So that's number one. I think we need to take responsibility for our children a little bit more. And number two, like you just said specifically, we need to accept Christ into our lives. If we do that also, that will let us know that There are certain things that are expected of us as a set of people. And that those strengths that we have, we're able to instill them in our children.
Right.
I can tell you, I don't know how people is going to feel about that. I have 4 girls, and from their elementary school through college, they never had a sleepover in anybody's house before. Me and my wife, we just don't allow it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, tell your friends that you're not going to sleep over. But in our house, we have sleepovers, movie night, and everything. Our house will be crawling with like about 15, 16 of them at one time. Well, we know ourselves. We know that they will be safe. And most of them started this from elementary all the way to Baton Rouge High School, all the way to college until they all disperse. And they still come to our house up to today to sleep and enjoy and have fun. But they took some lessons, some of our own behaviors. The mixture allowed them to be able to have a better life. So we can invest in the life of our children, our youth. And I think we will get a better result if we do that.
Amen. Look, I believe honestly, you've been ready. You are qualified. You're more than qualified. And
Thank you.
look, we just want to send people out to the election and vote. September 27th. Put it on your calendar. September 27th. Go vote for Attorney Dele Adebamiji. Is there anything else that you would like to share with everyone before we end our conversation?
Well, I'm just trying to tell everyone that go and vote, do your early voting, because election day always fall on a football day. So you may have something else to do, errand to run. But during the early voting period, I encourage everyone to go and cast their vote. And when you vote, you vote number one.
All right, number one.
Number one.
On the ballot, number one. Attorney Dele Adebamiji. Look, I'm going to say that name because now I feel like I really got it. Yes. All right. But look, it was a pleasure and an honor. I really enjoyed this conversation with you. And I really believe that you shared a lot of great information to the people that are listening. And once again, everyone, this is Teresa Perkins, your editor of Exposure, Spotlight Magazine. May God bless you.